Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning dear students. Today we are going to discuss about cell structure and functions unit 3 from CBSE syllabus class 11. Children, biology is the study of living organisms. The detailed description of their forms and appearance only brought out their diversity. It is the cell theory that emphasized the unity underlining this diversity of forms, that is, the cellular organization of all life forms. A description of cell structure and cell growth by division is given in the chapters comprising this unit. The cell theory also created a sense of mystery around living phenomena, that is, physiological and behavioral process. This mystery was the requirement of integrity of cellular organization for living phenomena to be demonstrated or observed. In studying and understanding the physiological and behavioral process, one can take a physicochemical approach and use cell-free system to investigate. This approach enables us to describe the various processes in molecular terms. The approach is established by analysis of living tissues for elements and compounds. It will tell us what type of organic compounds are present in living organisms. In the next stage, one can ask the question, what are these compounds doing inside a cell? And in what way they carry out gross physiological process like digestion, excretion, memory, defense, recognition, etc. In other words, we can answer the question, what is the molecular basis of all physiological process? It can also explain the abnormal process that occurs during any diseased condition. This physicochemical approach to study and understand living organisms is called reductionist biology. The concepts and techniques of physics and chemistry are applied to understand biology. In chapter 9 of this unit, a brief description of biochemicals is provided. N. Ramachandran, an outstanding figure in the field of protein structure, was the founder of Madras School of Conformational Analysis of Biopolymers. His discovery of the triple helical structure of collagen, published in Nature in 1954, and his analysis of the allowed conformation of proteins through the use of Ramachandran plot, rank among the most outstanding contributions in structural biology. He was born on October 8, 1922, in a small town not far from Cochin on the southwestern coast of India. His father was a professor of mathematics at a local college and thus had a considerable influence in shaping Ramachandran's interest in mathematics. After completing his school years, Ramachandran graduated in 1942 as the top ranking student in the BSc Honours Physics course of the University of Madras. He received PhD from Cambridge University in 1949. While at Cambridge, Ramachandran met Linus Pauling and was deeply influenced by publications on models of alpha helix and beta sheet structures that directed his attention to solving the structure of collagen. He passed away at GN Ramachandran at the age of 78 on April 7, 2001. Now let us briefly discuss about the cell, the unit of life. Children, when you look around, you see both living and non-living things. You must have wondered and asked yourself, what is it that makes an organism living? Or what is that an inanimate thing does not have which a living thing has? The answer to this is presence of the basic unit of life, the cell in all living organisms. All organisms are composed of cells. Some are composed of a single cell and are called unicellular organisms, while others like composed of many cells and are called as multicellular organisms. Now let us see what is a cell. Cell. Unicellular organisms are capable of independent existence and performing the essential functions of life. Anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. Hence, cell is a fundamental structure and function unit of all living organisms. Anton van Leeuwenhoek first saw and described a live cell. Robert Brown later discovered the nucleus, the invention of the microscope, and its improvement leading to the electron microscope revealed all the structural details of the cell. Children, now let us discuss about cell theory. In 1838, Matthias Schleiden, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants and observed that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which forms the tissues of the plant. At about the same time, Theodore Schwarzman, 1839, a British zoologist, studied different types of animal cells and reported that cells had a thin outer layer which is today known as the plasma membrane. He also concluded, based on his studies on plant tissues, that the presence of cell wall is a unique character of the plant cells. On the basis of this, Schwarzman proposed the hypothesis that the bodies of animals and plants are composed of cells and products of cells. Schleiden and Schwarzman together formulated the cell theory. This theory, however, did not explain as how new cells were formed. Rudolph, 1855, first explained that cell divided and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. He modified the hypothesis of Schleiden and Schwarzman to give the cell theory a final shape. The cell theory as understood today is all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. All cells are rise from pre-existing cells. Children, now let us discuss an overview of cell. You have earlier observed cells in an onion peel and human cheek cells under the microscope. Let us recollect their structure. The onion cell, which is a typical plant cell, has a distinct cell wall, has its outer boundary, and just within it is the cell membrane. The cells of human cheek have an outer membrane, has the delimiting structure of the cell. Inside each cell is a dense membrane bound structure called nucleus. This nucleus contains the chromosomes, which in turn contain the genetic material, is called DNA. Cells that have membrane bound nuclei are called eukaryotic, whereas cells that lack a membrane bound nucleus are called prokaryotic cells. In both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, a semi-fluid matrix is present and it is called cytoplasm, which occupies the volume of the cell. The cytoplasm is the main area of cellular activities in both plant and animal cells. Various chemical reactions occur in it to keep the cell in the living state. Beside the nucleus, the eukaryotic cells have other membrane bound distinct structures called organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles. The prokaryotic cells lack such membranes bound organelles. Ribosomes are non-membrane bound organelles found in the cells both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic. Within the cell, ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm but also within two organelles like chloroplast in plant's membrane and mitochondria and on rough endoplasmic reticulum. Animal cells contain another non-membrane bound organelle called centrosome, which helps in cell division. Cells differ greatly in size, shape, and activities. For example, mycoplasma, the smallest cells, are only 2.3 μm in length, while bacteria could be 3 to 5 μm. The largest isolated single cell is the egg of ostrich. Among multicellular organisms, human blood cells are about 7.0 μm in diameter. Nerve cells are some of the longest. Cells also vary greatly in their shape. They may be disc-like, polygonal, columnar, cuboid, thread-like, or even irregular shapes. The shape of the cell may vary with the functions of their performance. Now let us discuss about prokaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells are represented by bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, and PPLO means Pleuropneumonia like organisms. They are generally smaller and multiply more rapidly than the eukaryotic cells. They may vary greatly in shape and size. The four basic shapes of bacteria are bacillus, rod-like, coccus spherical, vibrio common shaped, and spirillum spiral shaped. The organization of prokaryotic cell is the fundamental similar, even though the prokaryotes exhibit a wide variety of shapes and functions. All prokaryotics have a cell wall surrounding the cell membrane except in mycoplasma. The fluid matrix filling the cell is the cytoplasm. There is no well-defined nucleus. The genetic material is basically naked, not developed by a nuclear membrane. In addition to the genomic DNA, many bacteria have small circular DNA outside the genomic DNA. The smaller DNA are called plasmids. The plasmids DNA confers and certain unique phenotypic characters to such bacteria. One such character is resistance to antibiotics. In higher classes, you will learn that this plasmid DNA is used to monitor bacterial transformation with foreign DNA. Nuclear membrane is found in eukaryotes. No organelles like one in eukaryotics are found in prokaryotic cells except for ribosomes. Prokaryotes have something unique in the form of inclusions, a specialized differentiated form of a cell membrane called mesosome in the characteristic of prokaryotes. They are essential in folding of cell membrane. Children, now let us discuss about cell envelope and its modifications. Most prokaryotic cells, particularly the bacterial cells, have a chemical complex cell envelope. The cell envelope consists of a tightly bound three-layered structure, the outermost glycocalyx followed by the cell wall and the plasma membrane. Although each layer of the envelope performs distinct functions, they act together as a single protective unit. Bacteria can be classified into two groups on the basis of difference in the cell envelopes and the manner in which they respond to the staining procedure developed by Gram. Those that take up the Gram strain are Gram positive, and the others that do not are called Gram negative bacteria. Glycocalyx differ in composition and thickness among different bacteria. It could be a loose sheet called simple layer in some, while in others it may be thick and tough. It is called the capsule. The cell wall determines the shape of the cell and provides a strong structural support to prevent the bacterium from bursting or collapsing. The plasma membrane is selectively permeable in nature and interacts with the outside world. This membrane is similar structurally to that of the eukaryotes. A special membrane structure is a mesosome, which is formed by the extension of plasma membrane into the cell. These extensions are in the form of vessels, tubules, and lamellae. They help in cell wall formation, DNA replication, and distribution to daughter cells. They also help in respiration, secretion process to increase the surface area of the plasma membrane and enzymatic content. In some prokaryotes like cyanobacteria, there are other membranes extensions into cytoplasm are called chromatophores, which contains pigment. Bacterial cells may be motile or non-motile. If motile, they have a thin filamentous extensions from their cell wall called flagella. Bacteria show a range in the number of arrangement of flagella. Bacteria flagella is composed of three parts: filament, hook, and basal body. The filament is the longest portion and extends from the cell surface to the outside. Besides flagella, pili and fimbriae are also surface structures of the bacteria but do not play a role in motility. The pili are elongated tubular structures made up of a special protein. The fimbriae are small bristle-like fibers sprouting out of the cell. In some bacteria, they are known to help attach the bacteria to rocks in streams and also to host tissues. Let us discuss about ribosomes. Ribosomes and inclusion bodies in prokaryotes. Ribosomes are associated with plasma membrane of the cell. They are about 15 nm by 22 nm in size and are made up of two subunits, 50S and 30S unit, which when represented together form 70S prokaryotic ribosome. Ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. Several ribosomes may attach to a single mRNA and form a chain called polyribosome or polysome. The ribosome and polysome translate the mRNA into proteins. Inclusion bodies, reserve material in prokaryotic cells, are stored in the cytoplasm in the form of inclusion bodies. They are not bound by any membrane system and lie free in the cytoplasm. Example: phosphate granules, cyanophycenia granules, and glycogen granules. Gas vacuoles are found in blue-green algae and purple algae and green photosynthetic bacteria. Let us discuss about eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotes include all the protist, plants, animal, and fungi. In eukaryotic cells, there is an extensive compartmentalization of cytoplasm through the presence of membrane bound organelles. Eukaryotic cell possesses an organized nucleus with a nuclear envelope. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. Their genetic material is organized into two chromosomes. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. Plant and animal cells are different as for farmers possess cell walls, plastids, and a large central vacuole which is absent in animal cell. On the other hand, animal cells have centrioles which are absent in almost all plant cells. Now, look at an individual cell organelles to understand their structure and function. Now let us discuss about cell membrane. The detailed structure of the membrane was studied only after the advent of the electron microscope in the 1950s. Meanwhile, chemical studies on the cell membrane, especially in human red blood cells, enables the scientists to deduce the possible structure of plasma membrane. These studies showed that the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipids and proteins. The major lipids are phospholipids that are arranged in a bilayer. Also, the lipids are arranged within the membrane with the polar head towards the outer sides and the hydrophobic tails towards the inner part. This ensures that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbons is protected from the aqueous environment. In addition to phospholipids, membrane also contain cholesterol. Later biochemical investigation clear revealed that the cell membranes also possess proteins and carbohydrate. The ratio of protein and lipids varies considerably in different cell types. In human beings, the membrane of the erythrocytes has approximately 52% protein and 40% lipids. Depending on the size of extraction, membrane proteins can be classified as integral and peripheral. Peripheral proteins lie on the surface of the membrane, while the integral proteins are partially or totally buried in the membrane. An improved model of the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972, widely accepted as fluid mosaic model. According to the quasi-fluid nature of lipids enable lateral movement of proteins within the overall bilayer. This ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. The fluid nature of the membrane is also important from the point of view of functions like cell growth, formation of intercellular junctions, secretion, endocytosis, cell division, etc. One of the most important functions of the plasma membrane is the transport of molecules across it. This membrane is selectively permeable to some molecules are present on either side of it. Many molecules can move briefly across the membrane without any requirement of energy, and this is called the passive transport. Neutral solutes may move across the membrane by the process of simple diffusion along the concentration gradient, that is, from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Water may also move across this membrane from higher to lower concentration. Movement of water by diffusion is called osmosis. As the polar molecules cannot pass through it, the non-polar lipid bilayer, they require a carrier protein of the membrane to facilitate the transport across the membrane. A few ions or molecules are transported across the membrane against their concentration gradient, that is, from lower to the higher concentration. Such a transport is an energy dependent process in which ATP is utilized, and it is called active transport. Example, Na plus Ka plus pump. Let us discuss about cell wall. As you may recall, a non-living rigid structure called the cell wall forms an outer covering for the plasma membrane of fungi and plants. Cell wall not only gives shape to the cell and protects the cell from chemical damages and infection. It also helps in cell-to-cell interaction and provides barrier to undesirable macromolecules. Algae have cell wall made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans and minerals like calcium carbonate, while in other plant it consists of cellulose, semicellulose, pectins and proteins. The cell wall of a young plant cell, the primary wall is capable of growth which gradually diminishes as the cell matures, and the secondary wall is formed on the inner towards membrane side of the cell. The middle lamellae is a layer mainly of calcium pectate which holds or glues the different neighboring cells together. The cell wall and the middle lamellae may be transferred by plasmodesmata which connects the cytoplasm of neighboring cells. Endomembrane system. Children, while each of the membrane organelles is distinct in terms of its structure and function, many of these are considered together as an endomembrane system because their functions are coordinate. The endomembrane system included endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes and vacuoles. Since the functions of mitochondria, chloroplast and peroxisomes are not coordinate with the above components, they are not considered as a part of the endomembrane system. Now let us discuss about endoplasmic reticulum, which is also called ER. Electron microscope microscopic studies of eukaryotic cell reveals the presence of a network or a reticulum of a tiny tubular structure scattered in the cytoplasm that is called endoplasmic reticulum. Hence, endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular spaces into two distinct compartments, that is luminal inside endoplasmic reticulum and extraluminal cytoplasm compartments. The ER means endoplasmic reticulum often shows ribosomes attached to their outer surface. The endoplasmic reticulum bearing ribosomes on the other surface is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. In the absence of ribosomes, they appear smooth and are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is frequently absorbed in the cell, actively involved in protein synthesis and secretion. They are extensive and continuation with the outer membrane of the nucleus. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the major site of synthesis of lipids. In animal cell, lipid like steroidal hormones are synthesized in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Children, now let us discuss about Golgi apparatus. Camillo Golgi in 1898 first observed densely strained reticular structures near the nucleus. These were later named Golgi bodies after him. They consist of many flat disc-like sacs or cisternae of 0.5 mu to 1.0 mu diameter. These are stacked parallel to each other. Varied number of cisternae are present in Golgi complex. The Golgi cisternae are concentrically arranged near the nucleus with the distinct convex or the forming phase and concave strains or the maturing phase. The cis and the trans phases of the organelles are entirely different but interconnected. The Golgi apparatus principally performs the functions of packaging materials to be delivered either to the intracellular targets or secreted outside the cell. Materials to be packed in the form of vessels from the endoplasmic reticulum fuse with the cis phase of the Golgi apparatus and move towards the maturing phase. This explains why the Golgi apparatus remains in close association with the endoplasmic reticulum. A number of protein synthesis by ribosomes on the endoplasmic reticulum are modified in the cisternae of the Golgi apparatus before they are released from its trans phase. Golgi apparatus is the important site of the formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Now let us discuss about lysosomes. There are member of bond vesicular structures formed by the process of packing in the Golgi apparatus. The isolated lysosomal vessels have been found to very rich in almost all types of hydrochloric enzymes such as lipase, proteases, carbohydrates, etc. Optimally active at the acidic pH. These enzymes are capable of digesting carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. Now let us discuss about vacuoles. The vacuole is a membrane bound space found in the cytoplasm. It contains water, sap, excretory product and other materials not useful for the cell. The vacuole is formed by a single membrane called tonoplast. In plant cells, the vacuoles can occupy up to 90% of the volume of the cell. In plant, the tonoplast facilitates the transport of a number of ions and other materials against concentration gradients into the vacuole. Hence, their concentration is significantly higher in the vacuole than in the cytoplasm. In amoeba, the contractile vacuole is important for osmoregulation and excretion. In many cells, as in protists, food vacuoles are formed by engulfing the food particles. Mitochondria. unless specifically stained are not easily visible under the microscope. The number of mitochondria per cell is variable depending on the physiological activity of the cell. In terms of shape and size also considerable degree of variability is observed. Typically it is usage shaped or cylindrical, having a diameter of 0.2 to 1.0 μm. Each mitochondrion is double membrane bond structure with the outer membrane and the inner membrane dividing is lumen distinctly into two aqueous compartments, that is outer compartment and the inner compartment. The inner compartment is filled with a dense homogeneous substance called the matrix. The outer membrane forms the continuous limiting boundary of the organelle. The inner membrane forms a number of infoldings called the striae towards the matrix. The striae increases the surface area. Two membranes have their own specific enzymes associated with the mitochondrial function. The mitochondria are the sites of aerobic respiration. They produce cellular energy in the form of ATP, hence they are called powerhouses of the cell. The matrix also possesses single cellular DNA molecule, a few RNA molecules, ribosomes, 70S and the components required for the synthesis of proteins. The mitochondria is divided by fission. Plastids. Plastids are found in all plant cells in euglenoids. They are easily observed under the microscope as they are large. They bear some specific pigments, those imparting specific color to the plants. Based on the type of pigments, plastids can be classified into chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. The chloroplast contain chlorophyll and carotenoid pigment which are responsible for trapping light energy essential for the photosynthesis. In the chromoplast, fat-soluble carotenoid pigments like carotene, xanthophylls and others are present. This gives the part of the plant a yellow, orange or red color. The leucoplasts are the colorless plastids of varied shapes and sizes with stored nutrients. Amyloplasts store carbohydrates, example potato, store and alleoplasts store oil and fats, whereas the allureoplasts store proteins. Majority of the chloroplasts of green plants are found in mesophyll cells of the leaves. They are length-shaped, oval, spherical, discoid or even ribbon-like organelles having variable length to 5 to 10 μm with the width of 2 to 4 μm. Their number varies from 1 per cell of the Chlamydomonas, a green algae, to 20 to 40% cell in the mesophyll. Like mitochondria, the chloroplasts are also double membrane bond. Of the two, the inner chloroplast membrane is relatively less permeable. The space limited by the inner membrane of the chloroplast is called stroma. A number of organized flattened membranous sacs called thylakoids, they are present in stroma. The thylakoids are arranged in stacks like the piles of coins called grana or the intergranal thylakoids. In addition, there are flat membranous tubules called the stroma laminae connecting the thylakoids of the different grana. The membrane of the thylakoids encloses a space called a lumen. The stroma of the chloroplast contain enzymes required for the synthesis of carbohydrates and proteins. It also contains double-stranded circular DNA molecules and ribosome. Chlorophyll pigments are present in the thylakoids. The ribosomes of the chloroplast are smaller than the cytoplasmic ribosomes. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are granular structures first observed under the electron microscope at dense particles by Georgi Palade in 1953. They are compound of ribonucleic acid, RNA and proteins and are not surrounded by any membrane. The eukaryotic ribosome are 80S while the prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S. Each ribosome has two subunits one is large and second one is small subunit. The two subunits of 80S ribosomes are 60S and 40S, while the 70S ribosomes are 50S and 30S. This S means Swedberg's unit, stands for the sedimentation of coefficients. It is indirectly a measure of density and size. Both 70S and 80S ribosomes are composed of two subunits. Now let us discuss about cytoskeleton. An elaborate network of filaments, proteinaceous structures consisting of microtubules, microfilaments and intermediate filaments present in the cytoplasm is collectively referred to as the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton in a cell are involved in many functions such as chemical support, motility, maintenance of the shape of the cell, etc. Now let us discuss about cilia and flagella. Cilia and flagella are a hair-like outgrowths of the cell membrane. Cilia are smaller structures which work like oars, causing the movement of either the cell or the surrounding fluid. Flagella are comparatively longer and responsible for cell movement. The prokaryotic bacteria also process flagella, but they are structurally different from that of the eukaryotic flagella. The electron microscope study a cilium of the flagellum show that they are covered with plasma membrane. The core called axoneme possesses a number of microtubules running parallel to the long axis. The axoneme usually has 9 doublets of radially arranged peripheral microtubules and a pair of centrally located microtubules. Such an arrangement of axonemal microtubules is referred as to 9+2 arrange. The central tubules are connected by a bridges and it is also enclosed by a central sheet which is connected to one of the tubules of each peripheral doublets by a radical spoke. Thus, there are 9 radical spokes. The peripheral doublets are also interconnected by linkers. Both the cilium and flagellum emerge from centriole-like structure called basal bodies. Centrosome and centrioles. Centrosome is an organelle usually containing two cylindrical structures called centrioles. They are surrounded by amorphous pericentriolar materials. Both the centrioles in a centrome like perpendicular to each other, in which each has organization like the cartwheel. They are made up of 9 11 spaced peripheral fibers of tubulin protein. Each of the peripheral fibril is a triplet. The adjacent triplets are also linked. The central part of the proximal region of the centriole is also proteaceous and called the hub, which is connected with tubules of the peripheral triplets by radial spokes made up of proteins. The centrioles forms the basal body of cilia or flagella and spindle fibers that gives rise to spindle apparatus during cell division in animal cells. Now let us discuss about nucleus. Nucleus as a cell organelle was first described by Robert Brown as earlier as 1831. Later, the material of the nucleus stained by the basic dyes was given the name of chromatin by Fleming. The interspace nucleus has highly extended and elaborated nucleoprotein fibers called chromatin, nuclear matrix, and one or two spherical bodies called nucleole. Electronic microscopy has revealed that the nuclear envelope, which consists of two parallel membranes with a space between 10 to 50 nm called the perinuclear space, forms a barrier between the material present inside the nucleus and that of the cytoplasm. The outer membrane usually remains continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum and also bears ribosomes on it. At a number of places, the nuclear envelope is interrupted by minute pores, which are formed by the fusion of its two membranes. These nuclear pores are the passages through which movement of RNA and protein molecules molecules takes place in both directions between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Normally, there is only one nucleus per cell. Variations in the number of nuclei are also frequently observed. Can you recollect names of organisms that have more than one nuclei per cell? Some matured cells even lack nucleus. Example, erythrocytes of many mammals and sieve tube cells of vascular plants. Would you consider these cells as living? The nuclear matrix or nucleoplasm contains nucleoles and chromatin. The nuclei are spherical structure present in nucleoplasm. The content of nucleus is continuous with the rest of nucleoplasm. As it is not a membrane bound structure, it is a site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. Larger and more numerous nuclei are present in the cells actively carrying out protein synthesis. You may recall that the interphase nucleus has loose and distinct network of nucleoprotein fibers called chromatin. But during different stages of cell division, cells show structured chromosomes in place of the nucleus. Chromatin. Chromatin contains DNA and some basic proteins called histones, some non-histones proteins and also RNA. A single human cell has approximately 2-meter long thread of DNA distributed among its 46th chromosomes. You will study the details of DNA packaging in the form of chromosomes in the class 12. Every chromosome essentially has a primary constriction or the centriole on the sides of which disc-shaped structure called kinetochores are present. Centromere holds two chromates of a chromosome. Based on the position of the centromere, the chromosomes can be classified into 4 types. The metacentric chromosomes has in the middle centromere forming 2 equal arms of the chromosome. The submetacentric chromosome has centromere slightly away from the middle of the chromosome, resulting into 1 shorter arm and 1 longer arm. In case of acrocentric chromosome, the centromere is situated close to its end, forming 1 extremely short and 1 very long arm, whereas the telocentric chromosome has a terminal centromere. Sometimes a few chromosomes have non-straining secondary constrictions at a constant location. It gives the appearance of a small fragment called the satellite. Microbodies. Many membrane-bound minute vessels called microbodies that contain various enzymes present in both plant and animal cells. Children, let us summarize the lesson. All organisms are made up of cells and are aggregates of cells. The cells vary in their shape, size, and activities and function. Based on the presence or absence of the membrane bound nucleus and other organisms, cells and hence the organisms can be named as eukaryotic and prokaryotic. A typical eukaryotic cell consists of a cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Plant cells have a cell wall outside the cell membrane. The plasma membrane is selectively permeable and facilitates transport of several molecules. The endomembrane system includes endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, and vacuoles. All the cell organelles perform different but specific functions. Centrosome and centriole form the basal body of cilia and flagellata that facilitate locomotion. In animal cells, centrioles also form spindle apparatus during cell division. Nucleus contains nuclei and chromatin network. It not only controls the activities of organelles but also plays a major role in heredity. Endoplasmic reticulum contains tubules or cisternae. There are 2 types, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum helps in transport of substance, synthesis of proteins, lipoproteins, and glycogen. The Golgi body is a membranous organelle compound of flattened sacs. The secretion of cells are packed in them and transported from the cell. Lysosomes are single membrane structures containing enzymes for digestion of all types of micromolecules. Ribosomes are involved in protein synthesis. These occurs freely in the cytoplasm or associated with endoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria help in oxidative phosphorylation and generation of adenosine triphosphate. They are bound by double membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and the inner one holds into several cistae. Plastids are pigment containing organelles found in plant cells only. In plant cells, chloroplasts are responsible for trapping light energy essential for photosynthesis. The grana in the plastids, it is the site of light reaction and the stroma of dark reaction. The green color plastids are chloroplast which contain chlorophyll, whereas the other color plastids are chromoplast which may contain pigments like carotene and xanthophyll. The nucleus is enclosed by a nuclear envelope by a double membrane structure with nuclear pores. The inner membrane encloses the nucleoplasm and the chromatin material. Thus, the cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Thank you.